Hello, my name is Dabney Warren. I come from Big River First Nation. I am currently completing my final assignment for this semester, which I'm super excited about. I just want to share my overall impressions about everybody's videos and some of the ideas that I took from there, and some of the things that I noticed. I'm really sad that we didn't get the chance to go to New Zealand. I really thought that it would have been a really great experience for us to go share our cultural teachings and how we're promoting culture and language in our education system. And I was super excited to learn from them and kind of have that cultural exchange. It would have been an awesome experience. Hopefully one day I'll get the chance to go over there to go see their schools and see how they're teaching the language and culture. I was really excited about that, but one day I'll get to go. So overall impressions, I thought everybody did a great job. I thought that you guys did an awesome job in introducing yourselves, talking about your ideas about decolonizing the curriculum and how you're doing it, and what you were excited to learn about from going to New Zealand and meeting the people over there. Some of the things that I noticed that were kind of like interrelating with everybody was our storytelling, and how we learn from that, and oral tradition, learn our spiritual teachings from the land. That was one of the things that Donnie shared. And we're kind of, I think a lot, the theme was like, striving to reclaim our languages and our culture, and a lot of us are trying to promote that through education. Shayna was talking about in her video the 4 areas of like working on herself, and I think a lot of us as teachers, that's something that we need to do, working on those 4 areas of like spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional, and making sure that we're doing that ourselves first. That way we can promote it and show that how we're doing it, and we can get our students to do it. Before we ask somebody else to do something, we have to make sure we're kind of like walking the talk, what, as they say, whatever. But we got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves as well as our students. So if we want to nurture and promote this holistic classroom and trying to get our students to work on their 4 parts of themselves, so that's something that teachers need to work on as well. Teaching can sometimes be like difficult, and that's something that we need to make sure that we're working on ourselves. So I really thought that when Shayna shared that was awesome. Revitalizing our languages is really like an important kind of theme that I noticed, and cultural revitalization as well. So like learning from our parents, learning from our grandparents, and like bringing those people into our classrooms, like sharing with the kids, sharing where we come from, who we are, our stories, our oral histories, and try to embed those into the curriculum. So I think that something that Sheila shared was really powerful to me, was when she was talking about like the learned behaviors as a result of colonization. Sometimes those learned behaviors are not so good, and I think we kind of see that with our communities. A lot of the social aspects of it, and how it's not so positive. Those are things that were learned as a result of colonization, as a result of assimilation, as a result of going to residential schools. Like those were behaviors that were passed down, and our kids are growing up in that environment. And there's something that she shared. She said we can relearn those behaviors. We can relearn and change behavior. So if like somebody also shared, it's never too late to learn your language and culture. Also, if trauma can be passed down, so can healing. That was something that really stood out to me. I think Kunis was the one that shared that. That is so true. Like if trauma can be learned, healing can be learned. We can teach that to our kids. We can teach that in our classrooms. So those are some of the things that I found that were really great, and I'm glad people said it. Some of the questions now that I have about, well, that I've always had was, how do we embed, how do we connect, how do we incorporate our culture, language, and traditions every day in the classroom? Not just for one period, not just for like a little portion of the day, but throughout the whole entire day with all the subject areas, and making sure that we're keeping ourselves accountable too. You know, like me, myself, I need to keep myself accountable. I need to make sure that I am speaking my language. I'm talking about my values and my traditions like every day, so that my kids, like even just my own kids, are learning them. So if I'm wanting to do that in my classroom, I need to be doing that at home first. So keeping yourself accountable and making sure that you're doing it. So those are like always my overall questions, is like, how do we make sure that we are constantly interconnecting and incorporating our language and culture in the classroom and in the school every day? And I kind of want to leave that question out to all you educators, Indigenous educators. How are you keeping yourself accountable and making sure that you're incorporating language and culture in your classroom every day? Thank you.